I will finally slay you and end this misery and return back to my time. No? Okay. Well. Oh, what the that's trippy. Don't know why my thumbnail isn't there. Hold on. Let me fix that. That's concerning to me. Okay. Alright, it got everything, okay. I had to look. Excuse me. Because I wasn't sure if it caught me or not. But, no freaking intro for this one. I wanted, well, there is an intro. It's just, you know, it's earlier in the stream before I figured everything out. But, I wanted to apologize first. First of all, I want to apologize because this video took way longer than what I anticipated. Because of multiple reasons. One, like, and I'm going to explain them all before I talk about Season 3 and why I think it's just as good as Season 2, or why it just reminds me a lot of Season 2. We're going to talk about all that. But, like I said, right, the reason why Season 3's video took me way longer than my experience with Season 2 of Samurai Jack is because when I was watching it, then I was really consistent. I was plowing through episodes like crazy. And yes, I did take breaks for days or two, but this was a really long time. I know at the end of my Season 2 review of Season 2 of Samurai Jack, I promised that this type of stuff, or I promised the video would not take as long to come out, and look what happened. It ended up taking quadruple as long, and I've made so many other videos. Why was I just leaving Samurai Jack behind? There's multiple reasons, okay? Reason number one was my brother. If you guys want to know how I even have HBO Max in the first place to watch this, is because my brother is using my friend's account, and every now and again on their HBO Max, since it is their subscription, that's, you know, they're paying for HBO Max, right? You know, they sometimes get logged out. And because, you know, it isn't like our account where, you know, we don't forget the password. There's many people using that HBO Max account and trying to get in and out and get in, get out, or change the password or whatever. There were so many times throughout the months where I was like, okay, I'm ready to bench Season 3, but so many, like, smaller things were coming up. Like, that was one of the big reasons, though. Like, HBO Max, like, we just kept getting logged out, and Louis couldn't ask for, like, the password or whatever for a very long time, right? That was, like, one of the reasons. We got it back. My brother was telling me that Samurai Jack is not on HBO Max anymore, and I remember after Louis told me that, even after we got logged in, you know, I was like, fine, I guess that's it for Samurai Jack. I'm upset because I didn't get to finish Season 3 like I wanted to, so I can give my viewers a video, or my experience at least, talking about Season 3. Then, you know, Louis, so much later, and I actually just fully accepted that Samurai Jack is off HBO Max, it's gone, all that stuff. I fully accepted that. You know, I accepted Samurai Jack being gone. And Louis later on told me, and keep this in mind too, before I lost HBO Max, I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes before all this shit happened, so keep that in mind, right? And you'll see you'll see what happens later on, right? So I fully accepted that, and I was just gonna move on. I was gonna watch Daima, but I can't even watch that. That's why we're behind by 2 weeks. I was just gonna watch Daima. I was just gonna make my experience with video games. I was just gonna go back. I was just gonna go back to what I usually do, and just accept I'm never gonna see Samurai Jack again. One of my favorite new cartoons I actually like to watch, right? Fuck it, I'll just accept it, and I'll just go do something else with my page. Whatever. Right? I'll just do whatever. But then Louis told me one day, he said, Alan, I got an update. I want to apologize, but Samurai Jack is not taken off HBO Max. And I said, are you serious right now? Yes, I'm serious, Alan. Samurai Jack is not taken off. So I spent all that time away from it when I could have gotten back on there and watched Samurai Jack Season 3 much earlier. Yes. If only I had the password and all that stuff logged in. So, basically, I sat there waiting for no reason. Other than them not being logged in and stuff. You know, or Louis not being logged in and has to get the password and shit. Other than that, I could have benched Season 3, right? So, last night, I was watching some Call Me Johnny. You know, because I just been benching his review videos. I love watching his review stuff, right? And I was like, wait a minute. Why am I spending hours doing this stupid shit? I mean, well, it's not stupid shit. But, you know, in the moment, it felt stupid, right? When I could be watching Samurai Jack right now. Such an idiot. Right? So, I turned on Samurai Jack. I said, you know what? Screw all this. And this was after the fact I made the Yoshi Story live stream and, you know, my turn to Yoshi Story, all that. This was way after that, right? And I just kept benching some Call Me Johnny to help relax me and ease me and all that other sort of stuff, right? So, I got on Samurai Jack. I went to Season 3. Season 3, Episode 4. Right? I was like, bro, nah. I can't wait to come back. And I forgot what the first 3 episodes were like. I came back to Samurai Jack. And usually my memory is really good when it comes to things, right? I completely forgot all about the first few episodes. Like, what happened? So what I did is I went through Season 3, Episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, you know, or all the way up to where I was at. And I skimmed through them. I didn't rewatch them fully again. I skimmed through them. And I started remembering, like, hey, okay, that's what happened this episode. Like, for example, Episode 1 was all about Jack kind of trying to get into town, trying to manage with everybody and so on and so forth. And then randomly he bumped into this guy that turns him into a chicken, you know, and for the rest of the episode, he's turned into a chicken. The episode after that is all about these kids doing some funky, like, being hypnotized by this funky, crazy dance music, and Jack has to try and save all of them from that. And then Episode 3 was like, you know, like I said, this is really based off memory over here and little bits of skimming through, you know, like, what happened, like, the events. And I don't want to, like, just spoil, like, every event, but, and then I think, Episode 3 was, like, when Jack had to give chase this little girl, if I'm not mistaken. I think that might be Season 2. But anyways, like I said, I forgot a fat chunk of the first bit of Season 3, right? Because when I returned so much later that I watched, I think it was either Episode 4, Episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you might be wondering, Alan, there's 13 episodes per season. Why didn't you finish? Let me tell you why. The reason I did not finish Season 3 of Samurai Jack is because I pretty much got the gist of the season. And I started noticing this when watching Samurai Jack, right? Do not get me wrong. I do enjoy stories like Samurai Jack. But a part of me, you know, kind of wishes they, well, not wishes they would, but kind of wishes they would get them, you know, move on with the main thing. Because from what I've watched, Season 1, Season 2, and a good chunk of Season 3, it's always been, you know, one episode stories. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Aku versus Samurai Jack, that's a big part of it. But it's, like, the series has always been about, like, it's miniature stories they like to wrap in a, like, one episode little bundle. And I get that, you know, about Samurai Jack. I get it why, like, hey, each episode's gonna have a different theme to it, a different type of it, or whatever the fuck. But I don't know how long I could keep watching the same formula over and over and over again, where it's like, we have Samurai Jack walking, right? Doing his thing. Just straight walking. Shit happens to him, good or bad. Like people chasing him down constantly. Every other episode. Or this tribe needs help. Or Jack is trying to find another fucking artifact that can bring him back to the past. But something has to ruin that for him. You know, and this is like the reason why I say I think I get the gist of season 3 of Samurai Jack. It all feels the same to me. It feels like you can swap season 2 and season 3, right? And I feel like all the events, you can mix mash episodes, and I wouldn't be able to tell you if that was season 3 or if that was season 2. If you just stripped the seasons from them and you gave me these episodes to watch, right? I would be like, is this season 2 or is this season 3? Because Jack, again, like I said, he keeps doing the same stuff. Or at least similar stuff to shit he's already done before. Like this one really cool episode of season 3 of Samurai Jack, right? Where Jack, and you know, it kind of reminded me of that one episode from season 2 where Jack was getting chased by these 3 other planetoid hunting like monkey beings, right? He's being hunted by them. This is what this episode reminds me of. I think it was season 3 episode 5 or 6. I can't fucking remember now. Can't remember season names because I don't have it written down or anything. But what is it? These 3 like werewolf like beasts, right? That have ancient like abilities, right? Pretty much Jack was trying to fight them. Apparently they can't even be slain. They can't even be defeated. You know, they have to be resealed or just completely destroyed by an entity that can completely purify them or whatever, right? And I'm sitting there like, man, you know, these 3 wolf-like beast things, I know their whole origin is different, but they kind of remind me of that one race from season 2 that was chasing Samurai Jack and kind of outclassed them in certain aspects and whatever, right? And I'm like, this episode's really cool, but it reminds me of this episode. And, you know, other episodes, like where Jack had to stay with the giant creature thing in season 3. You know, this reminds me of the other creatures from season 1. And I know when you watch something, you're not supposed to really, like, draw parallels and shit. And maybe I'm thinking way too much about it, you know, because I'm obviously reviewing it for YouTube. So, of course, I'm going to be thinking about, like, each episode. But you can't tell me that Samurai Jack Season 3 doesn't do the same type of shit as Season 2. You just can't. Like, I'm telling you, watch those 2 seasons back to back and tell me. I mean, and yes, obviously they're different because due to different characters and different circumstances, but the similarities are insane this season. You know, with the story beats and what to do. And I remember there was even another episode where Jack was basically following this little hermit dude because this hermit dude could tell him, like, how to get back to the past or whatever. And obviously, dude looked like Aku. And I remember I was telling Jack the whole episode, even though obviously he can't hear me, obviously. Obviously, I'm not in the show, so I wouldn't know. But, you know, and they did do that. They did do the same thing where Jack got fooled by Aku because the person looks, you know, very similar to Aku. And I was like, that's Aku, come on. He has the green face, red lips. He looked like Aku's fucking grandpa or something, man. You know what I mean? That's Aku. Dude, get rid of this guy, bro. But, anyways. Right? I remember that episode happened. I don't remember like where it was in the shit, but that episode happened, and I remember I was like, okay, they did a little twist where Jack knew the whole time, or a good chunk of the time, that it was Aku in disguise, and I'm like, okay, that's different, because I remember season 1 where Aku became that chick, and Jack really digged her, and I remember Aku really fucked with Jack on that one. But thank God, I was like, thank God Jack didn't fall for the same shit twice. And there was a little twist. Like I said, there's a little twist and turn to make it different enough, but I still feel like, to me, it's too damn similar. And I'm wondering if season 4 is just going to be the same as season 3, where it tells its own miniature stories. Like mini one-episode stories all the time. Like, is there ever going to be an ongoing narrative, or is that, like, going to be the entire thing? Like, from season 1 to season 5, I hope Samurai Jack fans can tell me down below in the comments, but there was one episode, and I think it was episode 9 or 8 of season 3, that really, really was fucking cool. It was, I'm actually gonna show y'all the episode, because I thought the animation peaked, like, hard as hell here. Like, I'm talking peaked. I think it was Samurai Jack. Like, it was Samurai Jack. I'm about to just go to HBO Max and show y'all instead of YouTube. I was thinking YouTube, but no, I'm just gonna show you guys here with, like, no audio, so I don't get fucking copyright striked and claimed. Because I got claimed on my last one, the first video of this, that I'm doing for Samurai Jack. But let me go back to it. I thought this was one of the coolest episodes, like this, like animation-wise and stuff. So, you're so bad. I don't care, noob. Okay. Well, if you don't care, then you would never have commented on this, and therefore, you're only commenting to rage bait. And honestly, I think you can do so much better with your life, but you chose not to. Anyways, I digress. It was episode 9, right, of season 3. And, here, let me show y'all real quick. Alright. Well, let me skip the intro real quick. So, basically, this whole episode, right, Jack is basically at a haunted house. Now, I can't tell you, like, what Jack was inspired by here, being in this haunted-ass house, and basically he's dealing with the that was not nice, little bro. Yeah, for real. But, anyways, as I was saying, right, Jack's dealing with this haunted house location the whole episode, right? And this freaking house is haunted. I'm talking this weird black spirally like entity, right, was basically keeping a really old tradition family captive within its own weird world. Let me show you. Let me show you. And then also Jack was trying to help this little girl out, because this little girl, like, the little girl was the only part of the family that didn't get caught by the evil entities, like magic and shit. My bad. I know this review is weird as fuck, but God, oh God, and it got trippy here, bro. I don't know what they were inspired by, but it feels familiar what they were inspired by this episode, right? And Jack realized shit is getting crazy. Like, look at this shit. Bro, I'm sitting there watching all this, right? Like, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the fuck? Jesus. Like, the whole family is, like, possessed by this freaking entity, this dark painting-like entity that gets you by fucking with your mind or whatever, right? And this is one of the coldest shits. This is what I was talking about. The animation, and basically Jack getting visions of how the entire family got bodied by this entity over and over. And Jack tried to fight it but lost. And basically had this cool one-on-one with this entity. This was easily the coolest episode of the entire season due to the sheer spectacle of this animation, this black and white painting like animation. Like, look how beautiful this is. I have to have it on mute because obviously the music and all that other sort of stuff is copyright, and I bet this is probably copyright too. But I just look at Jack, dude, during this moment. Bro, you can't tell me that was not fucking cool. And obviously, Jack in this episode saved the girl's family from being possessed by all those black vines and shit. And by the way, Tim Burton's welcome. But anyways, right? I remember that was like the coolest episode for me. And then I remember like an episode or two after that, that's when I stopped because like I said, I was getting like the gist. Right? I was getting the gist of what Samurai Jack season freaking 3 is like. Like, I get it. It's all condensed little episode or episodic joints that obviously, do the same. You get it. All right? I don't want to repeat the same ground so many times, right? I mean, I've already done that the whole fucking bit. But you get my point, right? Is that season 3 had its good episodes. And and another episode that was really good. But I am going to say what I am going to say first. Season 3 had its good episodes and its okay episodes, Most of them were pretty interesting because I was hooked on it. But due to that long-ass gap of me not watching this show and kind of, not watching it, not really caring about what happens next after Louis told me all that shit in the beginning, like I mentioned in the beginning of this review and shit. After all that, it's like, I just finished episode 18 of Death Note. That's what's up, bro. But, I heard season 2 was ass. Oh, Death Note? I can't tell you, because I don't remember Death Note, to be honest. I don't remember it. I watched it at one point. I do remember that much, but I don't remember anything else. So maybe one day I'll review Death Note. Who knows? But, there was another episode, right? And this is how I knew I was definitely done. I think it was season 2, episode 10, or season 3, episode 10. When I got here, it was all about, Jack kind of walking in this mythical forest again, because you guys know Jack wanders everywhere he fucking goes. And then these two dudes jump him, right? And Jack and the two dudes are noticing that their fighting style is the exact same, right? And they stop fighting. And they realize, hey, or this is our martial art. I can't remember the word, but I think it was Shaolin or Shaolin martial arts, right? And, Jack was showing them, good morning, my brother. Yo, G-Man, welcome. And Jack was showing them that, yes, I am one of you guys. I know your moves, and he showed them all, he showed them the moves, and then, they're like, oh, you must see our Grandmaster. And basically this episode was explaining everything to Jack, that in secret after Aku came for us for many, many years and decades, we spent, training and living in secret, living by our code, living by our rules, training ourselves every day to be stronger and great fighters and stuff. And, basically, the Grand Master ended up being one of the little ones back in Jack's past over 100 years ago. And basically, the Grand Master was telling him, hey, you know what? I become one with nature. My chi is like crazy, full of wisdom and all that other sort of stuff. And I was like, that's fucking cool that Jack actually got to interact with other people that know the same fighting style. That it feels like, he's not completely alone. He has actual brothers all 100 years in the future, right? Which was really cool. People that did the same martial art as him and everything. It was really cool, right? And basically that whole episode, Jack was trying to, or not the whole episode, but a part of it was about, Jack meeting everybody in the little Shaolin tribe, whatnot, right? And, Jack was kind of worried that I just spoiled your secret. Aku can see me at any moment. I must get out of here. And everyone was trying to calm his ass down, like, yo, you're good. Aku can't find you here. And I was like, oh, thank God, because, like, literally every spot, he can just send people over and over and over and over and over and over again after this man. And it's like, this is really cool. This one spot he can use to keep secret from, Aku and shit. But anyways, so he takes two monks, and Jack explains the situation that I'm trying to return to the past to undo the evil Aku has done. And basically, these two other monk dudes that go with Samurai Jack all the way to this certain area for a time portal. Again, Jack is fishing for them time portals, right? God, and there's so many. I'm noticing, like, throughout season 1, 2, and 3. Oh my fuck, dude. It is like time portals every 5 episodes, or every other 5 episodes, there's a new time portal or something that can make a time portal. God damn. But anyways, so they go travel all the way up to this certain mountain thing and dealing with stone motherfucking creatures over and over and over again. And, they struggle, they have trouble, and they make it to the top, though it was a pretty hard time for everybody to make it up to the top. And the two monks were trying to fight off all the stone creatures, and they told Jack, you need to get going now. You need to beeline it for that portal so you can get back to the past and undo this future. That is Aku. And Jack was running to the portal, but he kept hearing his homies getting bodied over and over and over and over and over again. And Jack was like kind of contemplating with himself that, should I go back to the homies or should I go back to the past? What decision should I make? And keep this in mind, those are homies, right? They know his fighting style. They can kind of relate with him on more than just a moment-to-moment interaction level. They know, like, his whole thing and what he does and how he is and how he trains and, mental and all that other sort of stuff. It goes beyond that. It's like a spiritual connection, right? Type way. So it's like, are you going to leave them right now in that moment that risk their lives for you? Or are you going to go to the portal? And Jack chose to say fuck the portal and help those homies out. And they questioned, what are you doing? We were ready to sacrifice ourselves for your, time-traveling stuff. We were willing to lose our lives. And Jack said, you guys are willing to risk/sacrifice yourselves. It is me who clearly isn't ready, which is why I didn't jump through that portal. And also, obviously, because he really cared about those guys and he didn't want those guys to, die on his behalf. People that, because obviously Samurai Jack's a good dude, and I felt that shit. I would have done the same shit. And, they were telling him at the end of the episode, but Jack, that means you have to find an alternative. And one of the saddest things that Jack said this episode, and it was to close off the episode before the credits came on, it was, I'm starting to get used to having to find another way to find a portal back home. This man, throughout, and he's never said that, alright? Throughout each and every single time he's found a time portal to bring him back to the past, and whatnot, and so on and so forth, right? This was the first time he actually said, man, I'm getting used to the feeling of getting my hopes and dreams always crushed by something. Going back to the past. I've always hoped for that. Like, I'm just getting used to the fact that I keep getting hope. That's literally what he said to end off the episode. And I was like, damn. My man's really feels this way. You know what? I can't even blame him. Literally, like, every single time, and keep in mind, I don't know if he does it again in Season 4, finding more ways, because I haven't watched Season 4 yet, but him, keep this in mind, trying to find more, I don't know, oh man, dude, it's like, think about it. You spend Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. I don't know how many days this took for Jack, but this must have taken months. Maybe even years at this point. I don't know how many years, right? Excuse me. Of how many times Jack has heard stories, wanted to go seek if they were true, just for his dreams to get crushed. You know, by the portal going away because Aku had gotten his way, or freaking some entity that was on Jack's side got in his way, like the big old blue fucking monster creature thing that ate the portal for him to go back to the past, or whatever, right? Or something else intervened with Jack's goal. Like, for example, in a previous episode, I think of Season 3, I can't remember, I think it was Season 3, Episode 5, I think an episode right after those big old monster entity things, Jack actually did find another portal, right? But it was before the other portals I mentioned about, you know, the ancient dudes and other things, right? It was, he found it, he got shown the way, but this big old blue dude, you know, showed up and said, Samurai Jack, huh, you won't beat me. Only people who beat me can get to that time portal. And it's like Jack fought his hardest and got bodied. Alright, 2 episodes in a row, Jack got bodied really badly. But anyways, I digress, right? Like I said, I enjoyed Season 3. And I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy Season 4 more, or maybe even less, now that I know Season 3 was pretty much the same shit. You know? And I know Season 4 for a very long time in the Samurai Jack series was literally the end of the series until 2017 when it got revived for one more season to wrap things up. And I have seen a little bit of pieces of Season 5, just sprinkles and pieces of it, because I was around that time when Samurai Jack first came back in 2017, just hearing the words and the rumors and all that other sort of stuff, like, it's back, Samurai Jack's back, and it was all over Twitter, and it was a whole thing. I might bring that up when I eventually get to the Season 5 review, but anyways, guys, that's my Season 3 review. I know, like, my experience with it, right? I know it was weird, it took way too long for this shit to come out, but that's truly what happened. The whole thing with the HBO Max being signed out, Louis telling me that there's no Samurai Jack on HBO Max anymore, just for him so much later, or a little bit later, I can't remember the timeline, just sometime later, because I'm very focused in the moment. I'm not really thinking about 42 days from now or whatever, or 42 days then, I'm just thinking about right now. My brother finally told me that, hey, Samurai Jack wasn't off HBO Max, my bad. Go back and watch it, bro, so you can continue your stuff. And it's like, thank you. Fuck. You know, I wish I could have done it earlier, but I'm not going to perseverate on that because, you know what? I'm happy to be back watching this. Now, I'm not going to make a promise and say Season 3's video won't be a long time from Season 4 or something, because as you guys know, I tried to make that promise last time, and because of shit that was out of my control, you know, it ended up being quadruple as long. Y'all had to wait, like, freaking months for this video. It almost feels like, I don't know, it almost feels like the Samurai Jack hiatus, but at least you guys didn't have to wait, like, fucking 14 years for it to come back and shit. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. Oh, is that a dime? I got a dime on the floor. But, let me know what you guys think of Samurai Jack Season 3. Do you guys think the same as me, where it's like, it feels like the same as Season 2? Like, its own condensed stories that are one episode subplots all the way through, with one Aku and Jack fight, where Aku just runs away at the end because he realized he can't beat him and whatever, so on and so forth. And I don't know, to me it just feels the same. Just let me know if you guys think it feels very different or slightly different. Just let me know your feelings down below in the comment section. And I think I'm going to do another My Experience probably right after this. I'm not sure. Probably will. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll do 2. I think I'll do 2 My Experience videos, and then, you know, I'll call it off for the day. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my experience / my review of Samurai Jack Season 3. I'm going to see you guys in a little bit. Peace. But now, especially, I'm going to go put the thumbnail up on this damn vid. Oh, cool. I will be back in Season 4 to, talk about my show. We'll see, Samurai. Sorry, I know. I know the impressions are a bit much, but I had to do it at least once, man. Y'all gotta understand. I had to at least do it once. You know, at least once.